Hello and welcome to the Little Blue Pot. It's Jem here. Thank you for clicking on this video. I hope it finds you well. I'm going to be talking about social anxiety in this video. I'm going to be talking about what it is and go through some of the symptoms you may experience if you suffer from this disorder. I'll also be talking a little bit about the common areas that you may experience social anxiety, as well as talking about some of the treatments that may be available, that will be suitable, if you have this disorder. So what is social anxiety? Social anxiety disorder, or social phobia, is a long-lasting and overwhelming fear of social situations. It starts during the teenage years, and for some it gets better as they get older, for others it doesn't go away on its own. Social anxiety is more than just shyness. It is an intense fear that doesn't go away and affects everyday activities, self-confidence, relationships, and work or school life. So it's a phobia. Phobia that comes from our fight, flight, or freeze response. It's an intense fear that we can't control, we can't help. It completely takes over, and we have no way of managing it, and we end up avoiding the situation which causes this anxiety, making us avoid it so much that we don't actually do these tasks, and it has an impact on the rest of our lives. Please check out my video on the fight, flight, or freeze response. It will give you a bit more of an introduction into why we feel this anxiety. I'm not going to be talking about phobias as a general thing in this video because I've done videos on those already. This is more about what it is and what are the symptoms of the disorder. So many people occasionally worry about social situations, but someone with social anxiety feels overly worried before, during, and after the activity. So before, you may have shakiness, you may maybe have an increased heart rate. During, you may still have the increased heart rate, but you may be sweating, you may even blush, or the fear of blushing makes you actually blush. And after them, you'll relive the experience. You'll kind of think, I've had that anxiety, but what happened? Why did I do that? What did I say? Why did I say that? Why did I do that? You'll dissect the whole activity afterwards. I do this. I don't have social phobia, but I do have anxiety in some social situations, and there's a big difference. It doesn't have an impact on my life. I do get anxious. I do get anxious before, during, and after these events, but it's not having an impact on my life so much so that I end up avoiding everything altogether. So there's a big difference between feeling a little bit anxious here and there to actually having a full-on social phobia. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. How do you suffer from this? Do you battle with it? Is this something that impacts on your day-to-day life? Let me know your thoughts. So let's talk about the symptoms. So you may have social anxiety if you dread everyday activities such as meeting strangers, starting conversations, speaking on the phone, or working or shopping. So everyday activities are harder for someone with social anxiety. You may avoid or worry a lot about social activities such as group conversations, eating with company, and parties. So it's avoidance. This is a cycle of behaviour. If we avoid a certain situation, if we avoid a certain situation, we're less likely to go to that situation, which may take away our confidence because we're not doing that. And the less we do these social activities, the more anxious we'll become. The more anxious we'll become, the less we're going to do these social activities. So it's a vicious cycle of behaviour, of avoidance. And if you're feeling that this is something that you're doing, then please get help. Please talk to someone. Please watch videos like this to get a better understanding. So then you'll kind of be able to say, okay, yeah, I do that. What can I do to change that? How can I challenge it? How can I move forward? I'll be talking more about that in a bit. So you may also worry about doing something that you think is embarrassing, such as blushing, sweating, or appearing incompetent. So the fear of doing something embarrassing takes over, preventing you from doing social activities. So the fear of going red, the fear of the sweating will stop you from doing these activities. You may also find it difficult to do things when others are watching. So perhaps writing something down as someone's watching you, you may feel that they're going to criticise you, you may feel that they're judging you. Really hard. Is that something that you have to deal with? Is that something that you have to cope with? You may also have social anxiety if you fear criticism, avoid eye contact, or have low self-esteem. Now, if you have low self-esteem, you're very much likely to feel if you have low self-esteem, it doesn't necessarily mean, that you have social anxiety. But if you have social anxiety, it probably means that you have low self-esteem. This gives you the fear of being criticised and making you avoid eye contact with people. You may also have social anxiety if you have symptoms such as feeling sick, sweating, trembling, or a pounding heartbeat. These are physical effects of anxiety on the body. You may also have panic attacks, so an overwhelming sense of fear and anxiety, and you may also have palpitations, sweating, trembling, shaking, sensation, shortness of breath, feelings of choking, dizziness, feeling faint. There's many other symptoms to a panic attack, but if you're experiencing social anxiety, you may have a panic attack before you do your public speaking. You may have a panic attack when you're actually in that social activity, maybe at a party. You may have a panic attack, or it may be that after the event, you're still feeling the effects of the anxiety on the body. It's a lot of this is physical. A lot of this is our brain communicating physical responses in our bodies. So those are the symptoms. There's many more, but those are the main ones that I wanted to talk about today. It's that overwhelming fear preventing you from living your life, stopping you from doing day-to-day activities, avoiding certain behaviours, certain situations as well. But there are common social situations where the fear occurs. So public speaking, entertaining an audience, eating in restaurants, writing in public, meeting people, going to meetings, giving a presentation, social functions, weddings, parties, family get-togethers. But do you know of any others? Do you have anything that triggers your social anxiety? Do you have anything that you avoid because of social anxiety? Let me know your thoughts in the space below. If you do suffer from social anxiety, there are things that you can do. Cognitive behavioural therapy is really good for challenging your anxiety and working out your behaviours, your thoughts and your feelings around social activities. Also talking therapies as well, and as well as medications. I mean, you could be given an antidepressant which helps manage anxiety. You can also be given anti-anxiety medications, but I would say talking therapies, cognitive behavioural therapy is really, really good for social anxiety. There may also be areas where you can have exposure techniques to gradually increase your exposure to certain social activities. That's something that they do particularly focus on when we're talking about phobias. So that is social anxiety. I hope I've said everything that I wanted to say. That doesn't make any sense. I hope I have covered everything that I needed to cover. I hope this has given you a better understanding of social anxiety. Please put any comments or questions you have in the space below. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Tell me about your social anxiety, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye now.